Welcome into the Alabama Football Report. I am Tom Downey, not Chris Daughtry. Chris is live for our NFL coverage here at Chat Sports. So I am subbing in for today to break down Alabama football making the college football playoff. After a kind of ugly game against Georgia, the committee doesn't even drop the tide. They stay at number 9 in the final college football playoff rankings. We will break down everything it means for the Crimson Tide, discuss briefly the Oklahoma game. Chris will have a full preview for you later in the week on the channel. What is your one-word reaction to Alabama being the number 9 seed in this year's college football playoff? Good, right, wrong? For me, it's right, by the way. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. If you did not watch our live coverage, this is, the college football playoff bracket. Indiana is the number 1 seed. Ohio State is the number 2 seed. They only moved down once after losing against Indiana. Georgia is 3. Texas Tech is number 4. No change, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oregon is still there. Ole Miss is still there. A&M is at 7. Oklahoma is at number 8. And then Alabama checks in at number 9. Notre Dame actually drops out of the college football playoff. Miami jumps them. BYU slides down, which is, maybe not consistent with the results of the college football playoff there, with Bama sliding down, Alabama does not, or BYU sliding down, Bama does not. Tulane is the 11 seed. James Madison gets in as the 12 thanks to Duke taking down Virginia in a overtime ACC conference or ACC championship game, But the big thing for you guys, Bama is the number 9 seed against Oklahoma, a rematch game. We'll spend some more time on that here in a little bit. Did the committee get this right? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comment section of today's show. Did the CFP Committee actually get this ranking right by keeping Bama at number 9? I would love to see some honest answers on this. You guys don't have to, if you think it's wrong, you can say it because they ended up being okay. They ended up getting in. So let me know. Did the committee get this right? Y for yes, N for no. Bama, look, we all watched the game. That was not a strong performance. That was a bad effort in the end. That was a team that just, they couldn't do anything right on offense, it seemed like. They really struggled to move the football. The run game was non-existent. Ty Simpson, really since that LSU game, I just feel like he hasn't been the same guy. That he just hasn't had the same level of performance. Like, he was really good this year, earlier in the season, and now he's just kind of riding the struggle bus quite a bit. But Bama, I think the committee in the end got this right, because I don't believe we should be penalizing teams for dropping a conference championship game that's an extra game. Alabama, if they didn't win the SEC regular season, by the way, they did win it, technically speaking. If they did not win it, this wouldn't have even been a conversation. Like, they would have been in. Like, there would have been no debate, no conversation. They're in. That was all it was going to take. Was they could have been on bye and been in like A&M and Ole Miss and Oregon, all these other teams. And Alabama has 10 wins. I don't like this constant need to be calling Bama a 3-loss team. Like, yeah, they got 3 losses because they played an extra game. So in the end, I actually do think correctly that the committee actually got this one right and were right to keep Bama. I would have been okay dropping them to 10, but they were right to keep them in, at minimum, the CFP. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. You can do college football, you can do pro football, you can do basketball, you can do whatever you want. This holiday season, it is the best time of the year for sports. We got bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes underway as well. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there is one place where it feels good to be right, and that is Prize Picks. This is one of the rather lengthy, this is a flex play we're going to do, meaning that you don't have to get all of these right. You can get one of them wrong on Bo Nix interceptions, Bo Nix passing yards less than, rushing yards, passing rush yards, come on to me. Geno interception, Geno passing yards, maybe a low-scoring affair is what my guy Mitchell Wren's predicting for the Raiders-Broncos game. If you haven't already, go download the Prize Picks app today. It is simple to play. You pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get those picks right, you will cash in. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. So with Alabama making it to the college football playoff, they get a rematch from one of their recent losses, Oklahoma. Alabama going on the road. We have the date and time, by the way. December 19th. This is going to be the lone Friday college football playoff game in the first round. All of the other 3 games will be played on Saturday. This game will also be on ESPN/ABC. They'll have the main coverage on that one. So Alabama on the road against Oklahoma, a chance to avenge one of their losses this year. The same way that Georgia avenged it against Bama in the SEC championship game. Now a chance for Alabama to do the same. A game in which, look, down to down, I think you would argue that Alabama outplayed Oklahoma. The problem, of course, is that Alabama repeatedly found ways to shoot themselves in the foot. If I had just shown you this bottom half down here of the scores and everything, you would have went, okay, we won. Alabama won. They had 326 passing yards for Ty Simpson. Daniel Hill had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, but John Mateer had 1 TD. So Oklahoma lost, right? No. The Sooners won that game. Nearly ended up keeping Bama out, by the way, of the college football playoff, and really in the end got Oklahoma in. Without this game, OU does not make it to the college football playoff. Who you got in the rematch, the rubber match? Well, it's not really a rubber match, but still. A for Alabama, O for Oklahoma. I want honest answers on this one, so let me know in the comments section of today's show. One thing Alabama will need, and I think everyone watching agrees with this, where'd the good Ty Simpson go? He was awesome for a really large portion of the year. Chris was talking about him being in the Heisman race. Then, honestly, ever since that LSU game, where he's 21 of 35 with a touchdown, 277 yards, made some big-time plays in that game, he honestly hasn't been the same guy since then. He struggled against Oklahoma. Eastern Illinois is not a real team, but he didn't light them on fire in that game necessarily either. He wasn't that great against Auburn, made the big-time play to go for it, but he averaged 3.5 yards per attempt in that game. And then he wasn't very good against Georgia either. The offense has struggled as of late. They need the good version of Ty Simpson back out there. If they don't, it's not great for Alabama. They have to be better. They need the good version of Ty. If they can get the offense clicking again, the defense is kind of playing decently. But they have to show up. It's the CFP. You lose. Going to be a lot of upset fans for good reason. We will be live for the rematch, Alabama against Oklahoma, here on the Alabama Football Report. Chris will be back for you guys. Don't worry on that front. Hit that sub button if you haven't already. YouTube.com/RollTideTV. We will be live for you. Some just brief final thoughts here on the college football playoff bracket. Of note, we do now have the designations for the second round assignments. Texas Tech will play in the Orange Bowl. Indiana gets the Rose Bowl. Oh, look, they put the Big Ten winner in. Go figure. So, if Alabama beats Oklahoma, it would be Alabama, Indiana in the Rose Bowl in the quarterfinals. So there's no reseeding, by the way, in the college football playoff. Tulane and Ole Miss, winner of that game, will get Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. And then Ohio State plays in the Cotton Bowl, which would be very interesting if it was potentially A&M Ohio State in Texas. Would be quite interesting on that front. If Ole Miss or Tulane win in the Sugar Bowl, wouldn't that be extra fun against Georgia? So some good matchups if things play out as they have so far. Alabama, Oklahoma, coming up later this month. The Crimson Tide sneak in to the college football playoff. I would argue as deserved.